Welcome back to Ken and Nishan's Keyed Up podcast,
Heat up.
where we're talking about all things regards to real estate and real estate lending in the GTA. Today's episode is sponsored by Nero Law, who specializes in real estate and criminal defense. So thank you, Nero Law. Their information will be listed down low if you have anything related to real estate or criminal defense that you need support on.
Let's do it, man.
Let's go.
So what we're talking about today?
Today, we're going to be discussing renovictions.
Renovation. So
What's renovictions?
it just came out actually. What is it? Like so July the 31st, recent, right? I guess so July 31st, it just came out that landlords must now get a license to evict their tenants, right?
Yes.
So what was happening before, right, is we have something called grandfathered rent. Okay, grandfathered rent, guys, it's people have been living in their unit, spending say $1,000 a month. All right, Nish? And they're spending this kind of money, and the law has said that we're only allowed to increase it by like say 2% per year, right? But if you get a brand new tenant, that same unit can rent out for say $3,000. So you have a bunch of these landlords across the GTA who are like, hold on, well, I have 30 apartment units in my building. Everybody's paying $1,000 a month. That's 30 grand a month. But if I can evict all of them and have them all pay $3,000, you do the math.
Yeah. So I think the whole idea here is the government is trying to support, wrongful evictions for these clients,
100%.
right? Obviously, in the space that we're living in now, landlords are trying to pinch and see wherever they can make additional money. So I guess legally evicting them by saying we have to do renovations,
Yeah.
it kind of covers them into taking them out and bringing a new.
Yeah, because that's what they were doing, right?
Yeah.
They're literally just.
So what has the government done then since?
Yeah, I'm reading it here. So pretty much you have to have a license, number one.
Yeah.
So if you actually want to evict a tenant because you want to do renovations, you actually have to have a license now to actually do it.
So previously, the landlord provides an N13 to the client saying, hey, listen, we're going to have to evict you because we're going to be doing renovations.
Right.
And we'll provide support for you to find a new place, or you got to figure that out on your own. But now you're saying that the landlords, the government's implementing a new law saying that the landlords have to, one, get a license,
Yeah.
then fill out an application form. And I think the application form costs how much? Was it?
Well, they have to first file the N13.
N13.
Which is like, I'm looking to evict you
Yeah.
because I want to do renovation. But
Yeah.
it also has to be accompanied with a license
Okay.
to actually do it.
Got it.
And the license comes with a bunch of stipulations. It must be from a professional contractor, all these things that verifies and says, yes, I've seen this unit. Yes, it needs renovations, plus other things. So the additional protocol, you have to have a license now on top of the standard N13, but to get that license has a bunch more criteria that have to be met from a professional body that says, I verify that this work needs to be done.
Yeah.
Because before, the work didn't need to be done because it was fake.
Yeah.
They were saying, sorry, I have to replace the HVAC. The AC unit, I need to replace the furnace unit, I need you out.
Yeah.
But if a professional goes in there and says, well, no, this is a brand new furnace. What are you
or this renovation doesn't require the tenants to actually have to leave.
Exactly,
right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So now the extra layer is you have third-party professionals coming in and verifying that this work needs to be done. That's part of the application. So that's a $700 fee to do that.
So all these things in place kind of will, if they really need to do the renovations and evict them, then so be it. But I guess all these little obstacles in place kind of deters tenants to gaming the system.
Well,
landlords gaming the system. I'm kind of for it though. I kind of like that. Listen, I get it. Everybody wants to make an extra dollar, but people got to live in today's society and economy, and things are going.
Yeah, it's not fair.
Can you imagine kicking out a family, saying, "Hey guys, you got to get out of here."
Yeah.
Because we have to renovate this. Only in the back of their mind saying, "Okay, you know what? I can increase this rent to another grand or two."
Right.
Man, think about that family.
Right.
Right. So I understand. Yeah.
And there's more rules. So you have to also give a one-time moving allowance fee.
Okay.
So you have to also pay them $1,500 or $2,500 depending on the unit that they had.
Yeah.
You have to pay them a one-time fee of like $1,500 to $2,500 just as a fee on top of the $700 as well.
Yeah.
So we also are paying them extra money. So it really is a deterrent from landlords to try to be shady.
Yeah. Deterrent, and also, hey, let's follow the rules.
Right. Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
I'm all for it. What about you?
I like it. I think that I think that if you shouldn't be just illegally evicting people just so you can re-rent the same unit for more money. So I'm definitely all for that, 100%.
So Ken, you and I are both on this new law that's being passed. We'll speak to our social media family and have them comment below on what they think and how they feel about this.
And one more thing as well, and the penalties are serious, right? So I'm just reading here. So if you file an N13 form, for example, but you don't do the licensing, $1,000 penalty. If you're violating certain things, like $10,000 per day, you can be charged. And then if you do these serious breaches, $100,000, you could be charged. So these fees are serious. So this is something that is definitely going to stop landlords illegally evicting people, because based on these fines, it's going to cost you a lot more money if you get caught doing it. So overall, I think it's a good thing for the city, 100%.
100%. We'll see what everyone else thinks in the comments below.
Sounds good
on this topic. So rent evictions, new law being passed as of July 31st.
July the 31st, 2025.
Awesome.
Be fair, guys.
So the next topic that we want to bring up is that's hot in the GTA right now, and maybe supporting cities around, is landlords are being scammed by real estate agents because allegedly that they're not vetting the potential tenants for the landlord. So I mean, the landlords are trusting the real estate agents to vet, not just vet, but look at applications, look at credit score, do their due diligence to see which would be the best fit for tenants.
And who this guy, like, so San, so the guy was San, I can't even see his name, man, like San Hular Zakwars and I think.
So that's the topic right now, and
he blaming his real estate agent. I don't know, man.
Well,
I don't know.
He blaming his real estate agent.
It's easy to do that,
and I agree with you. Like, it's not the real estate agent's job, right, to be betting, right? Unless it's in the agreement. It's not the real estate agent's job to be betting. And what does betting look like?
Well, okay, how about watch, right? So I think it is the job of a real estate agent to vet, because
to a certain degree.
To a certain degree. So I vet, right? So you also have expert tenants that understand the landlord tenant board like there's no tomorrow, right? So on our job, all we can do is ensure that their income is good, meaning that they make, say, 100 grand a year combined as a family. Their rent is only, like, say, 2,000. You look at their expenses and you're like, okay, you know what, you have still a good threshold of extra money at the end of the month to be able to, like, cash flow, right? So there's a disposable income. So you have to look at, well, are they a hop, skip, and a jump away from not paying you every month? So are they bringing in $3K a month as a family and rents $2,500 a month? That's tight.
Yeah, but here's the thing, though. What some of these landlords are under the impression, or the real estate agents are bringing these potential tenants,
right?
Knowing that the job references are not legitimate, or the income is not where it needs to be, right? Just to make a quick cash. Like, how much does a real estate agent make off a lease deal for last month's rent?
It's half month's rent.
Yeah, half month's rent.
So if rent is like $3,000, then the realtors would split that half and half. So let's say I'm working the file and rent's $3,000, I'll get paid $1,500 to do that.
Not that I'm saying it's happening, but don't you think there's a gray area for real estate agents to be doing that, especially how slow the market is, and knowing that rent could be an option? Like, I'm just saying, I'm playing devil's advocate.
So here's what I'm for. So if it's true negligence, so if you get your client a tenant, and again, rent is $3,000 a month, and they are making $2,800 a month, and then you get that tenant for your client, I think that's the negligence of the realtor, because that person ought to have not been able to pay rent because it was too tight. If you check their credit score and their credit score is like $400 a month, and you can see on their report that they've been sued before by their last landlord, and they're in collection, and there's an active lawsuit on the report, and you say, sure, here you go, to your client, that's your negligence. Make sense? If you don't call the job to verify, or if the job is some random job that has no website, we all know what an HR company sounds like. So if you're actually negligent, then fine. But what's happening a lot, okay, in defense of agents, is they meet the criteria. You have a single woman who is making $90,000 a year. right? She makes great income. The rent's only $1,500 a month. Her credit score is amazing. Job, everything panned out to be great. And then she stops paying you rent next month or in 3 months because whatever. And now you're going to your realtor saying, I'm going to blame you because my tenant. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, it is ridiculous because if you see
Yeah.
in this article, he mentions like he's paying all this money to the real estate agent to do the vetting and all that stuff, which is not the job of the real estate agent. But then when he takes that reference later on after being $40,000 in the hole with rent, tries calling that reference, it's a fake number. So yes, you could put it on the real estate
Right.
agent, but you're just a phone call away from protecting yourself as well.
Right.
So yeah, I understand that you're paying the money to the real estate agent to do this. It's really not their job.
Right.
You getting the reference yourself, buddy. Make the call. If I'm a landlord and I'm trusting my real estate agent to give me a tenant,
Yeah.
the first couple of things, and maybe I would do is I want to call their last landlord or the last two landlords,
Yeah.
and see
Yeah.
what type of client this person was. Bro, this is my money.
Yeah.
This is my house. I can't rest it on a real estate agent who also needs to get paid commission. I gotta do my due diligence. And this guy right here just said he's in the 40 grand in the hole, and only after being down 40 grand in unpaid rent, he decided to pull up the reference and call to see if this client was legitimate.
So here's where on the opposite part of what you just said, I am about accountability. So if the real estate agent does not make the phone calls, and he just misses that step, then fine. However, if you have an expert situation, okay, you have people that are getting mortgages, tricking banks with fraudulent paperwork.
I mean, we'll get to that topic as well.
So the bank guys, like, you're an underwriter at a bank with like CIBC or whatever bank you're with or whatever. And you see an application come in and it looks like a bank statement. It looks like a job letter.
Yeah.
You make the phone call. People are getting mortgages this way. So if you can trick a bank, a legitimate institution that has a lot of layers of, then for a realtor tricking job letter or whatnot, if you have fake numbers lined up, it's a whole system out there where people that are doing this will have like 10 burner phones. They're answering saying, "Hey, I work it's really for this media company. So you're a trick. Well, so then, okay, so if I'm a realtor, I check the job, I call the numbers, I do all these things, and then it turns out that paperwork is fraudulent. Somehow you find out, and they tricked me because it was a fake number. Did I do everything in my power to make the calls? And if I did, why are you blaming me? Because if you were in the same situation as me, it would have happened to you.
Yeah.
So I'm all about accountability if you miss steps, but I'm also not about having a scapegoat and saying as a real estate agent, what if people can trick the bank, they can trick a realtor.
Easily.
And AI is real. That looks real, man.
Well, yeah.
That job letter looks real.
And it's a very fine line.
Fine line.
Because one, it's not the role and accountability of the real estate agent to vet.
You don't think so?
It's not unless it's included in the agreement. Hey,
you're hired.
Your job is to vet these people to the T to ensure that they are reliable tenants for me. That's what I'm paying you for. It needs to be in the agreement. And if there is a breach of that, then there should be some sort of repercussions after that. Having said that, you're absolutely right. If I can trick a bank or I can trick so-and-so, it's not hard to trick a real estate agent who is just making the calls from the
I trick you all the time.
Yeah, exactly, right? But the other part of this, which is a scary part, are the real estate agents or whoever is involved in the process of generating these falsified references or documents in order to them to make a quick dollar here and there, especially with the way the market's going right now. I would imagine lease agreements are what are driving a lot of people's day-to-day monies, right? So I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know.
But my thing is, well, if you're gonna you're paying a real estate agent because you don't want to vet. So like you pay someone to do the running around for you. Because if I want to go to Kijiji and call job letters and call references, then I'll do it myself. But if I'm gonna give up $3,000, then I want to get a service, and that service is to save me time, save me energy. That I'm a busy person, so I respect the consumer saying to their realtor, if I want to do nothing and be lazy, then I'll do it myself. But I'm going to give you $1,500 for you to vet, for you to call their job, for you to verify, for you to make sure their due diligence, right? So I actually do think there's an obligation. And from a RICO perspective, right, we actually have an obligation to protect our clients. So if the real estate board found out that we legitimately did not even do that, there's also consequences, right? So I think that is hard to say in this case, but at the same time, I think there's probably a lot of lackluster vetting going on. But at the same time, fake documents are getting harder and harder to differentiate. There's counterfeit money out there. People actually make counterfeit money and go to Walmart and they're like, good to go. Yeah. You know what I mean? So to say that a realtor is negligent because you got tricked with the real job letter with AI, I think the end of pass them out and saying, oh, it's your fault that we're affording it, whatever. Man.
So, okay, so where are we with this? Is the landlord in the wrong to go after his real estate agent, or is the real estate agent standing, or do we agree with the real estate agent and say, hey, listen, man, we did my part. It is what it is.
Hey, man.
Unfortunately, you have to do your due diligence as well.
You know what?
Stand on that.
There's not enough information here. There's not enough information.
There's not enough information.
I don't know. I don't know. We don't know. We don't know what documents were provided.
Yeah.
We don't know if they were fraudulent. We don't know how good they were. We don't know if the guy actually called. All you know is that there's someone losing money, and whenever you're losing money, the easiest thing to do is to point finger.
Point finger. You nailed it. So you know what? We'll leave it to the comments section to give
leave it to the comments. Do you blame your realtor?
Do you blame the realtor, or do you do your own due diligence as well? Right? Because in today's society, there's no time to be lazy when it comes to your money. Right?
All right, brother.
Thank you guys for tuning in to Ken and Nishan's Keyed Up podcast. We hope you enjoyed the candid conversations that we had today in regards to rent evictions and lease agreements. We love to bring information regarding what's happening around the GTA with respects to real estate and real estate lending. So feel free to drop a question, comment, or reach out to us individually. And we look forward to working with you guys and sharing you guys information.